As angry and frustrated as we have been as a family for the last 6 months trying to get him home, having him home sparked a new kind of anger in me that our fight is far from over.
Some COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted from congregate living homes, now allowing for overnight visits. This comes months after families desperately called on the province to loosen the rules. Though this is welcome news, one mom says the separation has left her son traumatized, fearing that the restrictions will continue to keep families apart. These photos capture the moment the Wells family was reunited with their son Aiden this weekend. It's been nearly 6 months since they've been able to hug him.
To be honest, we are far from any kind of joyful reunion.
The 17-year-old has autism and a significant intellectual exceptionality, living at a York Region facility. Back in March, the home, like many others, went into lockdown because of COVID-19, which meant Aiden's weekend visits home to Peterborough were no more.
Any progress that Aiden has made over the last 5 years is gone.
The separation has been traumatic for Aiden, as Kate Wells explains. The teen didn't understand why he couldn't come home. That interruption in routine caused emotional and physical impacts on him. And when he visited this weekend, he was disconnected, not affectionate with his words and kisses like he used to be, instead growing anxious.
He didn't want to get really close with us. He was very hesitant. He spent most of his time in his room when he came home. He just needed space. He has been completely isolated since March 15th.
On the 29th, the province announcing it was lifting some of these restrictions at congregate living settings. In its release saying, it is important to recognize that people living in these settings enjoy the same rights as all Ontarians. It is therefore important that MCCSS-funded agencies and service providers recognize and respect residents' rights, including their desire and willingness to participate in the life of their community while following current public health guidance.
This news came 5 months too late.
Although Kate says she's grateful for the loosened restrictions, not every family can reunite with their loved ones because they don't meet the criteria for overnight visits.
The only reason that we were able to bring him home was because he is able to self-isolate when he goes back, because he hasn't wanted anything to do with anybody. So that's not a problem. He loves wearing his mask. He thinks they are the coolest thing. So he has no problem in common areas.
The province adds that as the outbreak evolves, rules around congregate living settings will be adjusted as needed for the safety of everyone. Families like Kate have asked the government to consider them essential caregivers, allowing to bring their loved ones home for visits.
My biggest concern is that that rug is going to be pulled out from under us again, should there be a second wave, because we can't go back there. He cannot go back there. It is not a safe, healthy place for him to be.
The Wells family is now helping Aiden rebuild from the trauma.
This is hard because I know it's going to take a really long time.
And the Wells family tells me they're hoping to bring Aiden home every weekend for overnight visits, helping him to get his routine back before he is set to return to school. In Toronto, I'm Faiza Amin for City News.